You know, every week I come down here and I tell you I'm in my studio. Thanks for joining me in the studio. I'm in my basement. It's a great studio. My son Tyler set it up for me with his friend Dakota. Thanks, guys. It's a wonderful place. It's a wonderful time for me. I get to be alive here. I get to feel like I'm doing something that means something to me, and I hope it means something to others. But I do something that I feel like I'm wired to do. When I wake up in the morning and I know I'm going to make a video today, my wheels just start turning. This is the kind of stuff that I always wanted to do. I always wanted to make videos. I always wanted to be able to talk to an audience. I always wanted to speak to people. It's something that really deep down inside of me, I always felt like I was good at it. It was something that I loved to do. Before that, I had a dream, and you know what it is because you've probably seen this video. I wanted to be a singer. I wanted to play guitar. I didn't have the voice for it. I didn't have maybe the chops for it or maybe the talent for it. But this I could do. This is something I could do. But guess what, the one thing that I thought I could never do? Hi, everybody. Kevin Barhyde here. Thanks for tuning in. Never thought that I could be a writer. Never wanted to be a writer. Never even had a moment in me where I said, I'm going to be a writer. When I was in college, I wrote a play. It's a play that I still love. I can't find it anymore. But the memory of it I love. It's called Blood of My Blood, and it's about family dynamics, and it's a one-act play. And I remember the day that it was put up as a reader's theater piece in college, and how proud I felt, how enormously gripped I saw the audience was. And I thought maybe I could do something like that, but I never grabbed for it, and it never grabbed for me. And neither did writing my memoir. It wasn't something I felt like I was going to grab for, something that I needed to do, something that I planned to do for years and years and years. But in 2007, when I completed the search for my biological family, the search for my mother, for dear Stephen Michael's mother, people kept telling me over and over again, this is so exciting. You got to write this. You got to write this. And I said, no, maybe I don't know how. But that was the cool thing. I don't know how. I'm not sure how to do this. I need help. And the neat thing was that every time that I thought about doing it and I thought maybe I could try this, help just appeared. In fact, after a lot of years of me writing a paragraph here, a page here, maybe the first chapter I had down and I felt a little bit strong about it, I wasn't even looking for a writing coach. Rachel, Brune, and I had taken one class together at UAlbany here in New York, and it was a communications course for our grad school work. And I just happened to look around on my LinkedIn page, and I found out that she had gone to NYU for film, of all things. But when I read her LinkedIn page, I found out, no, that's what she had started to do. Then she had gone for communications. Then she had joined the Army. Then she had gone over as a correspondent to Iraq. Then she had become a writer. And now, guess what I read in the middle of that page? She was a writing coach. Now, I did call her and reached out to her, and we started talking about my son Tyler going to NYU. And halfway through the conversation, I said, you know, I have some ulterior motives on this. She said, yeah, I figured you might. But she didn't guess what it was. And I told her, I've got a story to tell. I don't know how to tell it. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to put these pieces together. Is that something you would help me with? And she said, of course I would. But Rachel and I working together was just the beginning, just the tip of the iceberg. Every step of the way, when I needed to know how to do something, the person appeared when I was ready to listen. When I wanted to know how to get the editing done, a friend of mine, Joe, at work, talked to me about it and said, Kevin, this is how you might want to look for an editor. And I found that editor. Hi, Ginny Ruths. Ginny is just amazing. And the time that we spent together, Ginny and I, was full of anxiety for me because I said, great, she's going to do the editing. We're going to get this all put together. But what about when that's done? How am I going to get a book cover? How am I going to get this marketed? How am I going to do the publicity on this? How am I going to launch a book? How am I going to meet the right people at the right time that are going to be the people that are going to help me? And you know, I've been working at this for so many years, and I've just, in some ways, I've gotten used to enjoying that moment of surprise and wonder when that person appears. Because sometimes it'll take years, sometimes it'll take months, sometimes it'll take just overnight. But as much as I've grown to really enjoy that moment of, oh my gosh, this is really happening, I think I've also grown accustomed to the anxiety and the nervousness and the fear and sometimes the doubt and mostly the self-doubt is just human nature. It's just what I'm supposed to be going through. So when it happens, I don't let it stop me. So when it happens, and sometimes it happens more than I like, I have the knowledge in my head that this feels like I'm going to crash and burn. This feels like I'm going to hit some walls. This feels like it's all over and I'm not going to know what to do moving forward. But I know I felt that before. And I have some experience now, knowing that I've got a process. Yes, I'll go through the fear. Yes, I'll go through the anxiety. Yes, I'll have the doubt and the self-doubt, and I'll hate it sometimes. But when I get to the other side of it, yeah, I'll be surprised when you're there for me. I'll be surprised when somebody appears right before my very eyes sometimes and says, I got your back. I'm with you on this. I'll help you with the book cover. I'll help you with the legal matters. I'll help you with these pieces. You know what I'm really even sometimes more pleasantly surprised? I keep showing up for me. Every day I keep showing up. Every day I make mistakes. Every day I still don't know what I'm doing half the time, but I know I trust myself that one way or another I'm going to make this video. And it's going to be exciting because I've had this happen before. I've written something before and I've struggled with it and I've learned and I've grown and I've become a writer. I've wanted to be an actor and I took classes and I acted and I became an actor. I wanted to play guitar and no matter how hard I tried, I never got very good, but I can play Wish You Were Here. You know I can. And I wanted to get sober one day. And I wanted to heal from the child sexual abuse. And I wanted to heal eventually from the adoption and the abandonment. And you know what? My life is beyond spectacular. Even with all these things that I tell you every week that I still struggle with, I know that I'm going to be okay. Because I know that not only will you show up for me and other people will show up for me and my higher power is going to show up for me, but I'm going to keep on showing up for me. I'm really happy to be at the last stages of publishing a book. November's coming. November's coming. You're going to hear more about it. And I'm going to tell you every step of the way. It's hard. It's scary. I don't know what I'm doing, but I know you got my back. More importantly, I've got my back. Thanks for tuning in today. Please like this video. Please share it with others. Anybody you think that it might help. And please comment in the comments below. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what other videos you're interested in. Tell me what you want to hear. I'm here for you just as much as I'm grateful you're here for me. See you next week, folks. Take care.